That's right, family. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kicked back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. We're excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page. The resume speaks for itself. If you like the page and you want to be a member, you can click the join link right down in the video description, the chat. You'll get a video introduction to the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. But even if you don't, we appreciate you here at the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com online marketplace, 25% off selected items at this time. Save and shop. We got a lot of hot products and items for your family, culturally inclined, revolutionary mind, and culturally inclined. We got official General Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies for the kings, queens, and the children. We got holistic tonics and remedies, African and Kemetic jewelry. We got a nice new catalog on the site. If you go to kingseti.com, go to jewelry right at the top. You'll see where it says chunky chains. We got some nice Egyptian medallions with some powerful gold ropes, and we got some Cuban links for the family. Tighten it up, heavy presents. It's hot. You feel me? Yeah, I had to do you that way. Make sure you get you a powerful piece. And so the ropes are heavy. They're, nice length, 24 inches, thick, 11 millimeters thick, and so that's thick. That's gonna have presence on you. And so most definitely we got some hot joints up there. So go to jewelry and then come down to chunky chains and check it out, family. We even got some lotions on the site for your family. Get you for melanated people now. Hey, for melanated people. And so it's gonna get your skin together and moisturize and get some life down in there. You understand? So that it's anti-age and you just look younger, family. Your skin look vibrant and beautiful, and that's where we got some nice products coming on the site. We already got a lotion up there for you. Go and check it out, family. And remember, we got 25% off at this time. Selected items, kingseti.com. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University. Over 1,000 videos on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building. Man, you already know this one video going to blow your mind. So you already know what 1,000 going to do. You see on every subject that, and it's a hell of a system for educating the African mind and projecting you to where these niggas is not going. You see what I'm saying? And the ability to go around the world. You understand? Wherever I create international geniuses where you can go anywhere in the world and you automatically know what you're looking at because don't care where you at. General Seti taught you. You understand what I'm saying? From the land to the cosmological, astronomical to the oceanic, you understand, currents and prophecies and historical landmarks all over the planet, and the teachings behind those. And so when you're talking about Seti University, I have no problem in saying that it is the most complete that you can get in global African history on the planet. Okay. And so check it out. Check it out. And it's growing every day. 1,000. I wouldn't miss it. I'll tell you that. Okay. And Patreon, of course, hardest Patreon page up there, no doubt. Whatever I do, I'll stack gems on it. You understand what I'm saying? I could just rap. I could just put them out there. Gems. Boom, boom. The mind has been studying for so long. I could just throw them out there. You feel me? And so Patreon, we got over 200 exclusive live streams on my Patreon, and you should most definitely get, because I go live, you get a chance to see the general live. I takes it up 2-3 notches from YouTube, and so that's what's beautiful. You see what I'm saying? I get to discuss some things that YouTube might have a motherfucker stomach ache about. You see, and so get over there to my Patreon. Don't you dare not be a patron, because you got over 5 tiers, and I know, it's one for everybody. Make sure you pick, and if you pick, and you gonna eat. That's just all it is to it. You understand? I'm gonna make sure that you eat. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages. King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. You'll be up out of there. Now, we're going to get black. We're going to be dealing with the monsoon, trade winds, oceanic highways from Africa to Asia. Yeah. We on that tonight. And it's necessary. This is very necessary. You understand? Because in this, here we go. Now you see, you got the wet monsoons. Now, what are the monsoons? Now, the monsoons are, they, we call them trade winds, but they were there long before trade. You understand what I'm saying? This is the cosmic order of the planet. You see, and so when you understand that, you have to know the oceanic currents. You have to know the wind currents. And so even when they flying them goddamn planes out there, a lot of times they in currents, and it helps them to fly even at a faster rate. You see, it helps you, if you fly, and if you've flown and you've flown long enough, I could be asleep, and I could tell when if we enter into one of those wind currents, because you could feel the plane, that motherfucker in there, is almost like it's being carried. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell when the plane is is working on its engine alone. You see what I'm saying? You could tell when it's working on its engine, but then you could tell because you could feel it. Man, it's almost like the current just, throwing it, you know what I'm saying? Ahead. It ain't just the engine, it's the wind too that's, you know what I'm saying, that's propelling the plane forward. And so it just like you got currents in the oceans that's going certain directions, you got wind currents. You see, over the planet. You see, and if you learn them wind currents, if you flying, or you can get to certain areas far quicker. You see, you can get to certain areas far quicker, and so they understood that the monsoon coming from Africa. Now, when they say the wet, that's the stormy season, the rainy season in Africa. So yes, it's storming and it's raining, and but what happens is, if you moving, exporting, commodities from Africa into Asia, this is your time. You understand what I'm saying? Because you gonna get it. You got that wind blowing. You see what I'm saying? You got that wind blowing, so you can have large, barges and boats and shit packed with products. You see, packed. and you can get it into Asia, with relative ease. You see, you can use the currents to get you in there with relative ease. Now, the thing is, and a lot of people just don't, our people were on the oceans and on the seas long time ago. They were, all this shit talking about people's migrated by walking into Asia. And man, listen here, African people have been on those rivers in Africa for hundreds of thousands of years. They had already developed that maritime technology, being shipbuilding, boat building. You see, to a very advanced stage. You see, to a very advanced stage, which they not telling our people. You see, even when they talk about Egypt, they want to show you some little ass ships and shit and this, that, and what people don't understand, that Egypt had over something like, 15, 20 different type of boats. And some of them wasn't even boats. These was damn barges, which they're not discussing. You see what I'm saying? Even Hatshepsut, she had a barge. You know what I'm saying? Where she sailed 2 obelisks. And these obelisks weighed almost 700 tons apiece. And so they had barges, talking about 3 levels. How you got you had them boats where you got so many different levels and shit, got rooms and shit. And so this barge had 3 levels and shit. You know what I'm saying? 3 floors, large damn barge, for it to be able to carry 2 obelisks that weigh 700 tons apiece. You see, so they're not showing you the advancement in maritime technology that our people had. You see, they want you to think that you was like them, that you didn't walk no goddamn where. Family, you did not walk no goddamn where. Our people left Africa as, explorers. They didn't leave out of, when you look at motherfuckers migrating, motherfuckers migrate when they don't have food. When motherfucker ain't got no food, motherfucker got to get up and move. Ain't no way, because when you think about going into Arabia, you see, you got to understand, you got the southern portion, which they call Arabia Felix, which is the best part of Arabia. Soon as you leave out of that Arabia Felix, you going into one of the most hostile areas on the goddamn planet. You going into the Arabian desert. If you leave Egypt and you going into a motherfucking desert. You see what I'm saying? And so, and you got to understand, you got you got those areas, but when you got what you call Israel and this, that, and the third, but that shit over there, going towards Iraq, going to that shit is desert, is hot. I don't see no Africans leaving the Nile. You see, which the world is already known, the breadbasket of the world is the Nile. Every goddamn civilization knew that the breadbasket of the world was the Nile. Why would our people migrate out of the most plentiful in food base agricultural food base on the planet and just wander out. It ain't gonna take you long. Once you leave the Nile, nigga, you is in detriment at that point. You see, I want y'all to think and use your logic. What would make people leave the Nile and go? And then once you, I mean, there's nothing over there that can compare to Africa at all. And then once you get to the borders of Iraq and Iran and even Israel, you going into the mountains. You see, you going into mountainous regions. You see, now if you get over into, matter of fact, let me that's good enough. Let me get that one up. Yeah. So when you get over into like southern India, Burma, Thailand, down in there, that's where you get some tropical. You see? But when you go into, even going into northern India, you see, you dealing with mountains. Pakistan, mountains. Afghanistan, mountains. Even China, mountains. They can't even feed themselves. They got to go outside of fucking China to try to get food. You see what I'm saying? Russia. So you mean to tell me our people left Africa, luxurious Africa, with all that food, with all that, you know, you got the Great Lakes region, and you think our people left walking? Going fucking where? Where the fuck is they going? Be serious. Our people ain't left no goddamn Africa, walking into no goddamn Asia. They went into Asia from the south. You see what I'm saying? They sailed in. Okay? Just let it be. They didn't walk no goddamn where. You see them monsoons, you see them say they sailed in. That's why when you study the earliest civilizations, you know, you talking about the Indus right there. You see right there on let me put my, you talking about right here. You know, even before you go in, and all these civilizations is in the start in the south. So you see right there where it say Iraq, and you see right there what they call the Persian Gulf. Right there on the Persian Gulf, Sumer, and on the Iranian side, Elam is right there off the Persian Gulf, all in the south. You see, the people sailed in. That's where Angkor Wat, all of that over there is in the south, in proximity to Africa via the monsoons. You see, now what's killing people, which blew my mind, and I ain't gonna lie, it blew my mind. What was I looking for? I think I was studying Lemuria. No, well, I was studying Lemuria. And they was talking about, you know, according, because the Indian got also got a mythology of a continent that they call it something. I forget it. It started with a K, Condor or some whatever. But it is what the European call Lemuria, and it existed right up under the southern tip of India, between Australia and Africa. You see, and you know, and so I was studying that, and so they say that this land mass was there, and that, you know, it sunk, and so on, and this, and so a lot of people say that's just mythology, whoop-de-whoop. So what I found out, and it was by mistake, I seen, you know, when it come to the maps, It's a lot of islands in them. You see, let me show y'all some shit. Now you see this map, and they just show you water, but they were. And let me show you this other one. Let me get down here. Now it's a few little islands out on this one. And matter of fact, let me see if I can move that one. As a matter of fact, let me see. That's the Maldives. There you go, right here. Right there where, let me see. Where it say right there, Diego Garcia is way down here. It's in, you can see Africa is here. And you can see Indonesia is here. You see, it's an African people staying on, what they consider to be the indigenous people of that island sitting in the middle of the fucking Indian Ocean. Africans. It blew my mind. You see, but what it did, it proved to me what I've been saying all along, because how in the hell could they have gotten over there if they wasn't selling? So it's a lot of islands out here in these oceans that they don't even put on the map. Okay, most of the time when they show you the Pacific, they don't show you all the little islands. They show you this big, gigantic body of water. But they keep them, you know why? Because they be oppressing them islands. See, they don't even want you to know they there. They done turned them in, a lot of them into military bases and shit and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, they out there oppressing the people. They out there oppressing the people, you know, and I seen with Diego Garcia where they had, you know, the British had took it over, but the United States is using it for military, you know, because they making preparations for them Indians. I mean, for them Chinese. So they ain't letting, you know, just, you know, people talking about, well, the Chinese then built all type of man-made islands and shit. Man, United States got bases all through this motherfucker. Ocean, Indian Ocean, all that, Pacific Ocean. Them motherfuckers got bases all through there. You see what they ain't even telling you about. You see, but what it did show me is that not only did our people sail up into, into India, into the Persian Gulf. They even came around into the Bay of Bengal. They did that. When you get to Burma, you see that Burma got so many pyramid temples up in there, it's ridiculous. Angkor Wat and so on and so forth. Yeah, our people sail into all, and this is where, where the peoples that they call the Mon Khmers, who were the ones that built Angkor Wat. You see, they came by way of the Monsoons, the Monsoon Khmer. You see, and woolly head Africans, woolly head Buddhas. You see, and what you seeing there today is no different than what you're seeing over here today. Something that just has occurred within the last 300-400 years, and you go previous to that. You see, before them Europeans went down in there, it was a total different situation. You see what I'm saying? And you must include the Oriental along, because they are imperialists too. Ain't no goddamn getting around that. They imperialists too. They feel they the big kahuna over there, and so they think they can throw their weight around because they got more people and shit, and that's what they did. You see, and so a lot of land was seized from the Naga Buddhas, the Naga Africans that were over there. You see, and so, but this is, this is, and so you see the Mon Khmers take their name from the Monsoon. Why would they do that? You understand? When you say Mon Khmer, you see, You looking at origin when it said Mon Khmer, and you understand that Mon means is a connect with the monsoons, that they came from Africa. That's a fact. Ain't no getting around that. In areas of Indonesia, man, listen here. I didn't show so much shit from and I still ain't seen people show some of the things that I didn't show. They ain't caught up yet. Where you go into Indonesia, I showed y'all this one where he had a goddamn, he's in Indonesia. He's on the island of Sumatra. In Sumatra, that's okay. I believe that this main island, I could be wrong, is either this main island right here or these ones down here with Jakarta. I know Jakarta is the capital. You see, Jakarta, and so even when you see Papua New Guinea right here, on that side you see the Africans. You see, they don't want to be African, but that goddamn Chinaman gonna show their ass. You understand what I'm saying? They can keep, kissing ass all they want to. That shit ain't gonna save them. Either you play, you go and play and watch what happens. But you see how they didn't cut that whole area used to be black. So when you see even on that island right there, how they cut it in half, they show you that the island was all black at one time. This whole area was black. And you can see that they didn't push their ass to that point. You see, but the types or the Papua New Guinean, woolly head African were all up in Thailand, what today is Thailand, what Burma. They was all the way up in there. They got pushed out of there. You understand what I'm saying? And if you go in there, they ain't all pushed out of there. I ain't gonna say that neither. You get up in there in the right pockets, and you understand they still in there. You understand what I'm saying? They still in there in certain areas. So they most definitely ain't got rid of everybody. You see? And so, but you have to go in there and do research, and because they're not gonna give you no inroad to find out that because we already been teaching. You understand what I'm saying? That the Africans was the Naga Buddhas. You see what I'm saying? And they know that. They know that they not dumb. You understand? They can play dumb, but it ain't gonna do it. It'll be to no avail because we don't want to hear that shit. You understand what I'm saying? I know for a fact, ain't no if, no ands, or buts about it, that we would have even the fact that they teach this human evolution and migration and shit, which is a lie. But at the same time, they swear to God that everybody come out of Africa. You understand? Which is a damn lie. If you don't look like the people that's indigenous to the continent, you didn't come out of that. You see, all of that is a theory and this, that, and the third. We don't need no theories. Ain't nothing that look like you in Africa. So why are we saying that everybody come out of Africa? But at the same time, when they say that, they must admit that if that's true, then the African migrated into every area on the planet first. Okay? When he got there, he looked like an African. Okay? He looked like an African. If that's the case, if they, and even in the falsified theory of evolution, and human migration, if wherever he showed up there looking like an African. And then they try to confuse you by saying that people's evolved. How? How did they evolve when Africans are still in Asia to this day? They didn't evolve. They still there. They still look like how they look when they left. Yeah, they've interbred with some of the peoples that was over there, but for the most part, you could tell those that got a significant amount of African blood in them from those who don't. That's just that's just reality. You see? And so to say that the peoples is as if all the Africans just disappeared. They still there. So how did these Africans remain looking like Africans where the other people just miraculously just evolved into something totally different? That don't make no goddamn sense. You see, but if you deal with migrations and you deal with the so-called human evolution, and they saying everybody come, well, then whatever the African showed up, he showed up looking like an African. How long did it take him not to look like an African? Okay. And why are the Africans that are in there today, why they didn't mutate? Why they didn't devolve into something else? See, that don't make no goddamn sense. But our people rolled these trade winds in and out of Asia. You see, so when they were ready to come back home in September and March is when they had the dry monsoon. They're not wet, they're dry. And, powerful wind get you back home. You go in June, September, you're over there. You know what I'm saying? That might be enough time for you to sell every damn thing that you take over there. You done made all your money and you ready to go home. You see, and then on September, you out of there. You heading back to Africa. You see what I'm saying? And you ain't necessarily, but you ain't gonna want to go against them trade winds. That's gonna be a motherfucker to try to go against them. So you gonna want to leave when that wind is on your side. You feel what I'm saying? And so we'll be talking more about that and understanding that the people, the islands that's in the middle of the ocean, how did they get there? They was on boats and they took them damn monsoons where they knew where they was going. They drove some of them ships, man, straight across. You understand what I'm saying? They knew some of them islands was there, so they would pull in. Them islands was ports. They went straight across. Some of them they skirted the land. They skirted the land a lot of time. Yeah, they did that. And then, you know what I'm saying? They started to scout that ocean. You see what I'm saying? They scouted that ocean, went out so far. You know what I'm saying? Left markers and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Leave markers out there. Okay, this where and then go out some more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they went to scouting that damn ocean until they found all them islands and shit that was out there. And them islands became ports until they eventually they was able to, get to the other mainland, Australia, what is called Indonesia today, over in that area. They was able and to go back. You understand what I'm saying? They knew them islands in the middle of the ocean. That's how they got across. They didn't just come all the way across. They stopped, go to the next island, and sail on into Australia, sail on into Indonesia. We have to and that world existed before there was even a Europe. When we talk about the Indian Ocean, Africa is the first world, and that became the second world. Europe and the Americas didn't even exist. This was the world, but from Africa into Asia, that was the world. Wasn't no goddamn Europe. That shit didn't exist. Wasn't no damn America. That shit didn't exist at all. You see? And so we most definitely have to, when you study that, studying the continental history and then understanding the colonies, man, it's empowering. And then we'll get to Europe. We'll get to that's modern shit we did. But when you start talking about Africa and what we did in Asia, man, you talking about hundreds of thousands of years before Europe in America, hundreds of thousands, not even 100,000, 200,000-300,000 years before there was a Europe or the Americas, at least 300,000-400,000 years. So study well, family. Stay with the general. We got one more before we close out tonight. I got to drop. I ain't been on in a couple days, so most definitely I got to stay. I got to teach a little tonight. You see, yeah. I wasn't looking. Kumari Kandam. Yeah, Kumari Kandam. That's it, family. That is it. Yup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Andaman Islands. Yeah, they swept through that Bay of Bengal. That's right, family. I was teaching and I didn't even have it on my comments. But you're right in exact with that, family. I ain't done, family. Stay with me. I'm gonna click and we coming right back. We're gonna keep the teachings going for the night. This is General Sarah Soon said, he saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Check out some of them sites and support the general. Black Power. Brother say he driving and listening. That's good, brother. Keep me on there. If you're driving, go on and watch this next one. Black Power.